Good morning, everyone. It's Gail with TradersHelpDesk, and looking at the USDJPY this morning, I do think we'll get some downward movement. I would be looking at 106.40 to see if that supports price. You can see over here on the weekly, we have had a divergence there, and that should push price up to about 108.74, but again, they will need a test for support before that move can occur. They'll also need to break through this ATR at 107.06. There is a possibility that it could find support at 106.83, but I do believe we're going to get a magenta peak that would probably send it back. I would say probably 106.50 is a nice round number to look at. We also see pretty much the same pattern over here on the British pound. You can see you just had the pivot formation. I do think it'll come down to about 1.2206. And then if it finds support, it will likely go up. You can also see over here on the weekly chart, you have that Pearson line formation. And that is actually a very good pattern because it's at a low area, and that more than likely will push price up to 1.2559. At least that's what I would anticipate. Looking over at the euro this morning, you can see that this is probably going to come down and test 1.0999. If that area holds, then we're likely to see some higher highs made in the euro. On the euro yen, very similar to the USD JPY, you can see that magenta peak is coming in now. I would anticipate this coming back to about 117.28. You could even say 117.50. And if that area holds, then we should see some increases in price. You can also see over on the weekly that you do have the stochastics overextended, so that again is an indication that this market may go up today. Now over on the Nasdaq side, you can see that we've pretty much made a double top here. Now you would have to wait for the end of this bar, which is 6 a.m., about 2 minutes away, but this is indicative that they're rejecting this high, and more likely than not, with the stochastics overextended and the ADX overextended, that more than likely is going to push price down to 7732.25. Now you could also watch the area at 78.16, but I believe it will come closer to the ATR, which is actually this slow moving average over on the daily chart. On the Dow Jones, you see again the same pattern. They're rejecting this high here with this bearish bar that ends in about 60 seconds. Okay, and if it comes down to about 26.711, you'll get that magenta peak, which also confirms that it should come on down to about 26.413. Now again, that would come down, test for a potential support area, and then if it finds support, it will go up. I do think this week we're probably going to go up to 27.308. You see a congestion dot at 27.175. and an ATR at 27.296, and that would be where the weekly chart is coming back to test this high, and if it fails, then that's when you're going to get the downward movement that everyone is anticipating. On the ES, give it just a minute here. On the ES, you do see you've got the dark cloud cover forming, and you had a doji on the last bar, but you also see the stochastics is overextended on both the 6 hour and the daily. plus your ADX is overextended as well. These are all indications that it's likely going to come back and test for a support area that will allow it to push up further. Now again, you do have this congestion dot over on the daily at 3026.50, and you have an ATR over here on the weekly that is at 3031.75. Both of those areas are areas to watch, because if they do hold, and you can see previously they have on this daily chart, if these areas hold, that's where you're going to get a downward push. But again, these areas have to hold, because that would be the resistance area that will give it the momentum to push down.